Okay, people, so what a rush. And there were definitely fights that had you just on the edge of your seat, like, holy camole. You feel me? Right, so we're gonna start with the middleweight clash. Tresean Gore against Marco Tulio. This fight, man. Like, at the beginning, I mean, just seeing Tulio walk out, he was mad relaxed. You know what I mean? Just so relaxed and chill. So there was a little trepidation thinking, oh shit, I picked this one wrong. And when the fight started, it just seemed like Tulio had his range. Gore, it took him a little while to get that range down. So Tulio was landing. But, Gore's moving forward. He did actually rock Tulio early, but Tulio, man, he was just mixing it up so well. You know what I mean? Really mixing it up. Leg kicks, body kicks, right? Some spinning attacks. And then he rocked Gore hard. Like, Gore goes down, and, Tulio's following up with punches, but Gore is moving, you know? There were times when you're thinking, I mean, it could get stopped, right? But Gore, he was moving, and he does get, and the crazy thing, he gets up, and then he's throwing, right? So you're just like, shit. Like, he still looks rocky, but throwing. He wasn't looking for a way out of the fight, So then we go into the second round, and Tulio just comes out even harder, right? Throwing big shots, and again, Gore, he's you can clearly see he's rocked, but he's still throwing and landing some big shots. So you're just like, oh my God, this is crazy. It was so fun, right? Now, obviously, for a fighter, this is not good. Thinking they're taking so much damage, but for, someone watching the fight, it was exciting. It was fun. Tulio knocks him down again and just unloads. Just unloads until the referee calls time. And yeah, it was a good call because Gore was, he was in trouble. There's no way he's winning this. And you just think any longer he's really gonna just, have those lights turned out. So yeah, that was our first one. Then we go to the featherweight clash between Darren Elkins and Julian Erosa. Oh my God. This was craziness. Right? This was craziness. Now they're both coming forward. Erosa, he catches Elkins early with a jab that, Elkins goes down, and you're just like, was he? Because I think Elkins was in the midst of throwing a kick, so it's just like, was he just, off balance? Did the jab actually hurt him? I don't know. But Elkins gets a takedown. Right? Up kicks. Now, we see fighters throwing up kicks all the time, but, they don't. There's a few occasions we've seen people get hit by up kick. I think, oh gosh, what's her name? She won the Ultimate Fighter, Macy Shazan. I think she did, I think she knocked out, Maya Borno Silva with an up kick, right? I think it was that fight, not the Pani Kazad fight, but yeah, she hurt someone with an up kick. There's been a few, Not a whole lot, but every now and again, people connect. And Julian Erosa, like he can actually connect it. I think it was twice, right? There's the initial, and then there was a follow through, and I Elkins kind of collapsed into the guard, right? And when they get back to their feet, Elkins is rocked. He is clearly not stable on his feet. He's still trying, right? He's still pushing forward and all of that jazz. But Elkins is, man, the lights are on, but no one's home. You feel me? Right? And Erosa just continues to land. Just continues to land. And every time it's the look that you're getting, it's not good, right? The way Elkins is moving, reacting, it is not good at all, right? At all. And yeah, Rosa puts him down and then just follows up. And thankfully, the referee jumps in because, boy, that wasn't good. And you think, like, was, it just the kick landed in the right place, right? Or is this just the end result to an accumulation of damage over the years for Elkins? Because we've seen him just wear it, right? Wear it and come back. You know what I mean? Just not be phased. But this time it was just, you know what I mean? And it happens, right? You just remember Chuck Liddell had an iron chin until it wasn't, right? And you only really know in the midst of the fight. Tony Ferguson, he was never the same after that Gaethje fight. And he was eating shots in that fight, but still coming forward. But then after that, a shot would just put him down. So I think we'll have to see how Elkins comes out of this. But boy, he took damage. Like, it's not just a nickname. He took it, that fight. But boy, it was, you were on the edge of your seat for that one, right? And then, people, I'm going with the lightweight clash between Jim Miller and Chase Gordon. Chase Hooper. There's not even a Chase Gordon. Chase Hooper, right? It was the second fight on the prelims. Actually, it was the fight after, Julian Erosa and Darren Elkins. Now, this one went the distance. It did go the distance. But here's the thing. The scrambles, just everything. It was so much fun. And watching this fight, right, just as it starts, right, as Chase walks out, the difference in Chase here to when he first, just went on the Contender Series is night and day, right? You can definitely see he's put on body mass, he's put on muscle, but his striking looks so much more refined than, any of his previous fights. And it had been getting a lot better. The last couple of fights, his striking was definitely better. But, this night, it was even better than the last two. He was putting it on Miller, striking-wise, on the ground. man, this was a fun fight because, Chase is winning, but Jim not giving up, right? Jim was in it. Jim was, keeping Chase honest, right? So Chase is trying something on the ground and Jim is defending, countering, There's a lot of leg entanglements. I will say the only one thing, like Chase, he was trying to do this weird kind of heel hook and it just wasn't working, but he just kept on going back to it, right? So if he had tried something else, you know what I mean? Like after the second time, maybe be like, I'm not catching a vet like Miller with this move. Let me try something else, But other than that, Chase looked incredible, right? You can watch Chase now and go, I think he could contend with, a lot of the top guys. Where before you would just be like, he does not have a chance, right? If someone mistakenly falls over, maybe you can then just keep him on the ground and submit him. But, all fights start on their feet and he's going to get fucked up. But now you go, Chase is legit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a fun fight. All of these were fun fights that just had you fixed, had you locked into the action. And, it's hard because there was so many good fucking fights on this card, people. It was incredible. It's incredible. But that is What a Rush.